Honda will leave Formula One at the end of next season, at the end of the 2021 Formula One World Championship, bringing an end to their partnership with AlphaTauri, more importantly with Red Bull, leaving Formula One with just 3 engine manufacturers heading into 2022. This news is a massive shock in the world of Formula One. And I suppose more significantly, rather than it being a massive shock, it's also a massive disappointment. Yes, Honda struggled when they first joined Formula One or rejoined Formula One back in 2015. Yes, they had a terrible time working with McLaren, trying to get that hybrid engine technology working. Fernando Alonso is a whole different kettle of fish I don't think Honda were ever expected to try and overcome. But when they moved to Toro Rosso a few years ago, slowly rebuilt that relationship and then ultimately left McLaren, started working with Red Bull, things really started to turn around. And last year, of course, the team not only started to score their first podiums in Formula One with both teams, Red Bull and Toro Rosso, they also started picking up their first wins. And I think finally their reputation had been rebuilt. I think people, certainly this year, but last year as well, were respecting Honda a hell of a lot more than they had done the previous 3 years. And this season, though both Red Bull and AlphaTauri aren't going to win the Drivers' or Teams World Championships, both teams are the only teams other than Mercedes to win Grand Prix this season. Ferrari and Renault haven't done that yet. But the reason they are leaving, as we all know in the world of Formula One, is far more complex than what we see on the surface. And actually, when you look into it a little bit deeper, it's more understandable why they are leaving Formula One. However disappointing or upsetting the news is, we've got to face the reality that Formula One isn't cheap. It costs a lot of money to run a Formula One team, but I think more crucially, it costs a lot of money to stay competitive. Honda are aware of the future. Honda are aware of the impact of this global pandemic. They're a company that have been hit harder than most with this global pandemic, with a lot of their business, of course, being in Europe, North America, and being a company based in Japan. That's not help at all if you're trying to export cars around the world. So we were always going to see either some kind of cutbacks, layoffs from the Honda team. They've taken it a step further and decided to leave at the end of next season. Before we take a look at the future of Red Bull, of course, they're not going anywhere yet in Formula One, and they've got an engine supplier to sort out. But also I want to take a quick look at the future of Honda. Their statement, as we'll see in a moment, a little bit elusive, maybe hinting at a move to a different motorsport series. That's going to cause some dramas. But we'll start off with Red Bull's statement. Red Bull Racing acknowledges the decision by the Honda Motoring Company to withdraw from Formula One at the end of the 2021 season, and would like to thank the company for its exceptional efforts as the power unit supplier of both Red Bull and Scuderia AlphaTauri. Our team partnership provided immediate success, with Max Verstappen scoring Honda's first victory since 2006 at the 2019 Austrian Grand Prix, followed by 3 further victories and 13 podium finishes in just 31 races. Additionally, Scuderia AlphaTauri's victory at this year's Italian Grand Prix saw Honda become the only power unit manufacturer to win with 2 different teams since the start of Formula One's hybrid era in 2014. I didn't know that statistic. That is pure magic. This decision does not affect Honda's commitment to achieving our shared goals during the remainder of our partnership, as we aim to build on our joint successes until the end of 2021. And now on to the juicy bit. It's time for Honda's statement. It's a long one, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's very, very long indeed. We've got speeches from the president of Honda. We've got texts from the team's representative. We've got talk about McLaren, Red Bull. It's in the description. If I forget, please someone remind me. But I think there is an extract in the main meat of this text talking about the future and where the team are trying to head. In the meantime, as the automobile industry undergoes a once-in-a-100-year period of great transformation, Honda has decided to strive for realisation of carbon neutrality by 2050. This goal will be pursued as part of Honda's environmental initiatives, which is one of the top priorities of Honda as a mobility manufacturer. Towards this end, Honda needs to funnel its corporate resources in research and development into areas of future power unit and energy technologies, including fuel cell vehicle, FCV, and battery EV, BEV technologies, which will be the core of carbon-free technologies. As part of this move, in April of this year, Honda created a new centre called the Innovated Research Excellence, Power Unit and Energy. Honda will allocate its energy manufacturer and fuel technologies, as well as knowledge amassed through Formula One activities, to this area of power unit and energy technologies, as we take initiatives while focusing on the future realisation of carbon neutrality. Towards this end, Honda have made the decision to conclude its participation in Formula One. What do we think about that then? Battery EV technologies. What motorsport have we seen really grow and grow and grow? Focusing on renewable, focusing on carbon neutrality. The first sport to ever receive carbon neutrality a few weeks ago. I think we could see a little switch from Honda here. I think Formula E might be on their radar. It might not be straight away, but we've seen Audi, we've seen Renault, we've seen Nissan, and last season we saw Mercedes and Porsche. Maybe this was inevitable. Hey, it's not guaranteed they're going to join Formula E. There's no statement. At the moment, there's no plan of them joining Formula E. There's already enough teams in Formula E. But I tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me, especially looking at this statement, that could be a possible avenue for the future. But also, it's a very valid reason to leave Formula One, a company that, in theory, would like to build their brand around being sustainable while trying to achieve net carbon neutrality. Staying in Formula One, well, that's not the best look if that's what you are trying to portray your brand as on a global scale. And I feel like I need to reiterate, it really does pain me to see Honda leaving Formula One. Formula One will miss Honda hugely, but I can see why Honda have done it. And that's the dilemma here. What next for Red Bull then? That's where real question marks are going to come from this, because a lot of us now can accept this news that Honda are leaving, but what's more important is what's next. Hopefully someone comes in to replace Honda. What's going to happen to our team that are currently the only challengers to Mercedes? Could this thing get a whole lot worse and Mercedes are even more dominant in 2022? Unlikely, but Red Bull need to find someone, and they need to find someone quick. They did not leave their relationship with Renault, well, in any kind of state whatsoever, really. That's going to take an awful lot to sort that out. And I don't think the characters at the top of that team, I don't think that's something they really want to do. Mercedes, they've just signed a deal with McLaren for next season. Do they really want to have another team on their books? I don't think so. Ferrari, could that be Red Bull's only option? I don't think Ferrari would like that too much. I also don't think Red Bull, looking at Ferrari's engine at the moment, would like to have that engine or power unit in the back of their car. So it could be a situation where we get stuck. It could be a situation where Red Bull don't have a choice. And if no decision is found, they want to stay in Formula One, it may well be that the FIA force Red Bull, Formula One force Renault to sign a deal. And we could see, after what has been a crazy final couple of years, Red Bull and Renault back together again. Oh, the toxicity. Hopefully they could rebuild some kind of relationship if that did happen. However, there is of course that avenue that a new power unit supplier could come into Formula One. How likely is that? We will never know. They're going to have to start working now if there is a plan. Could Red Bull make their own power units? It's an option, but they don't really have the facilities to do that. They're not a company that deal in the automotive and manufacturing world away from Formula One. So is that a possibility? At this moment in time, we really don't know. But if they do need someone they don't want to work with Renault, Ferrari and Mercedes, they're going to have to get to work quick. Because if they can't find a power unit manufacturer, not only could that potentially mean Red Bull leaving Formula 1, that would also mean AlphaTauri leave Formula 1, leaving us with just 8 teams. That would leave us in a real mess. Formula 1 have got a lot of work to do. The new CEO, Stefano Domenicali, he's got a lot of homework to catch up on, and this is certainly something he's going to have to keep his eye on over the first few months of his tenure. And I will leave that there for today's breaking news. Of course, there are so many different stakeholders in this piece of news today, so many different avenues that I'm sure we will go into detail over the next few weeks. Even instantly in my head, I'm thinking, what about the Red Bull Juniors backed by Honda, Yuki Tsunoda, and of course last week we saw Nobuharu Matsushita leave Formula 2. How are they linked to this decision? We're not quite sure just yet, but over the next few weeks, more and more news will be trickling out and we'll understand more about the situation. Thank you all for watching. If you are new, feel free to subscribe. Hopefully, I can keep you up to date with all Formula 1 2020 news, reviews, all that good stuff. If you are loyal, if you're part of the team, thank you for watching. As always, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you all in the next one.